And now we're back on live. Hopefully you can now hear me as we progress to our final question. Ha, that's just a joke. As you can see, the technical problems with this feed are always here. I have an Instagram message from Office Memes. Hey, Michael. Unfortunately, tonight I'm going to have to work late on a business proposal. To help me get through this, what do you think? Should I order an Indian or a Chinese? To do what? Needs context. I've had an email in from Mario Giuliano from Chicago, Illinois, and he says, "Hey, Mikey, my uncle Lombardo has given me 7 suitcases of cash that he said were an inheritance from my great-grandmother, Nonna Balinghi. What are your top 3 ways to get rid of a very large amount of obviously very clean cash quickly?" Okay, so no problem. Here are my top 3 ways very quickly. Invest in local businesses. We're talking laundries, barbers, strip clubs, showing great support for your local community and the economy. Number 2, pay your staff in cash. Blue-collar workers especially love the smell and touch of dirty cash. But let's be fair, all people love opening a suitcase or a brown envelope stuffed with paper notes. It's like Christmas when Santa Claus couldn't be asked to buy you a present and just gave you cash when you were 5. And number 3, bury it. Basic 101 economics principles state that the value of money increases over time. You don't believe me? Well, why is it that old 5-cent coins buried on a beach, discovered by some nerd with a metal detector, turn out to be worth $1 million? Well, there are my top 3 ways, Mario, that I would recommend. What I would say is this week I put together a question asking you, what job would you do for free? It is absolutely incredible that people would actually get out of bed knowing they wouldn't be paid. I've had some great answers from Alexa. She said she'd manage a game farm in Africa. Good to know that she wouldn't actually be doing the manual work herself, but instead supervising the staff. Very shrewd, best in business. Andrew said he'd work in London as a black taxi driver. Bit racist. Craig said he'd be a teacher, presumably of adults, not of delinquent children. Christine said she would be Cristiano Ronaldo's ball cleaner. The single ball? I mean, what about the other one? They usually come in pairs. And John simply says porn. I'm not sure whether that's just Tourette's or a political statement. But please use the chat function to tell me throughout this session, what job would you do for free? And avoid the smutty ones like hand or blow. So on to our next question. It is a YouTube message from Eric Fondler in Minneapolis. It's a very unfortunate surname. Hopefully that's Fondler by name, but not by nature. Dear Michael, some of our workforce are now returning to the office following the pandemic, but we have to make sure that we adhere to the social distancing measures in place. One of these is to use a face mask. However, some of my staff are not following company policy. How do I enforce this? Well, you're from Minneapolis. I'm aware there are a lot of ex-policemen looking for work there right now. They're very hands-on with enforcement, so maybe they could help. But I'll be honest with you, from what I've read, there'll probably be an expensive lawsuit on your hands. Our next message comes from, it's a tweet from @Online Escorts Official. Yes, I've used you before. Hi, Michael. At the moment, it looks like we'll be working from home for the foreseeable future. However, I am still having to pay rent on our workplace premises, which is impacting our underlying profitability. Can I challenge my ongoing business rent and rate charges? Absolutely. Just stop paying. What are they going to do? Evict you? You're not even there. Joke's on them. So hopefully that helps you out. Email in from Johanna Lindström in Stockholm, Sweden. She says, hello, Michael. Hello, Johanna. I work for an advertising agency and I love every minute of it. My clients are excellent, it's lovely, and so are most of my team. However, there is one individual who insists on using Latin regularly in meetings, presentations, and documents. Why do they do this? Well, quite simply, because they're smart. Yeah? It's a well-known fact that if you speak Latin, you're either very, very smart, Catholic, or dead. It says, yes, I'm extremely knowledgeable on all matters, and you can trust me. Uh, American is the language of business. Latin is the language of the best in business. So take a leaf out of their book, start dropping in some old Latin phrases of your own, and you'll find your clients and your colleagues are smothering you in adulation. And to give you a head start, I encourage you to use these 3 classic Latin workplace phrases. Last week, we exceeded our sales productivity targets ex ante. Our new female board member brings much needed carpe diem. Shaniqua brings significant Spiritus Sanctus to her role. Start using Latin today, Joanna, and you'll find that you become very much the Deus Dominus of business. So good luck with that. I have had a message in from Facebook, Financial Ventures Inc. Dear Michael, love the weekly show and the other YouTube videos you've uploaded. Great stuff. I run a small fintech venture capitalist firm. At this point in time, we are considering blockchain. Should we invest in it? Now, this is great to hear people with excess income at this time investing in different industries. Yes, of course you should. There's never been a better time to invest. The music industry is thriving. And let me say, blockchain are the #1 R&B group globally. Now, I've invested in their latest album, DLT. And let me just say, my top 3 hits in that album are My Cryptocurrency Bitch, Cyber Beaver, and Suck on My Bitcoin. So yes, they're live as well. I've seen, they're great, did a bit of moshing. So go ahead and plunder your money or plow your money into that great investment that is blockchain. I've had a message in from Dan Van Winkle from Leiden, the Netherlands. And he says, have you ever employed anyone you thought would be a great hire, but actually turned out to be a disaster? Well, it is extremely rare that this happens, but there was one occasion about 10 years ago where I hired a very attractive lady with freckles and slightly strawberry blonde hair, like mine, into our legal function back in 2003. Yes, we did have extramarital relations at the work Christmas party, but only tops and fingers. Although what I would say is it then subsequently turned out that after the security clearance checks that had been done on her employment, it turned out that she was my sister, Linda. I had no idea. I'd not seen her in about 15 years, and she had a lot of Botox done. So we let her go briefly on her promotion period. And now she works for Goldman Sachs. Oh, she's doing quite well. I've had a message in from Andrew, and he says, hi, Mr. O'Hare. Your opinions on McDonald's opening its drive-through. I don't contain messages about McDonald's, but what I don't condone is necessarily drive-through shootings. So, I mean, I know a lot of the staff do that, but, let's be clear, I don't condone that. But I am partial to a filet of fish. So I'll be going there very soon. And that probably brings us to the very end of our show this evening. I just want to say thanks very much for joining us again. We're here live every week, and if you want to bring other peoples to come and join us, perhaps as a intensive training course as part of their performance improvement program, get them to come and join us. But as always, I'd like to say thanks very much for joining us for Enter the Dojo of Business, and look forward to seeing you